As a highly sensitive person or as an empath, what are you sensing right now? What are you being sensitive to? Are you being sensitive to the voice for fear? Or are you being sensitive to the voice for God? Are you being sensitive to a deeper voice? In this video, we're going to talk about how to tell what voice you're tuning into. Are you tuning into your intuition, or are you tuning into fear, and how to tell the difference? And I promised that I would talk about how I manifested, a little bit about how I manifested this little one. So we're going to talk about that in this video today. And I did experience some fear during this manifestation. She talks. That was her little noise. Okay, so I did experience some fear. I had some like pretty big manifestations recently that I experienced fear around. Two of them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. And we're going to end with a Course in Miracles lesson that will help us find this place of peace within us that is already there. My name is Elizabeth Cermak. I'm a psychotherapist turned coach here to help sensitive people find inner peace, help sensitive people manifest inner peace. Inner peace is something that we can manifest because it's already here. It's already within us. We just bring it into this world. We bring it into our reality, just like we do any other manifestation, such as this one. I've been trying to manifest her for probably years. It's been years. I wouldn't say 10 years. I don't know if it's been that long. But as soon as we got Prudence, who's sitting behind me sleeping, as soon as we got Prudence changed our life so much, me and my husband, and we wanted another Chihuahua. We love Chihuahuas. Okay, so we had been trying to manifest one for years. And it just wasn't working out. Like every Chihuahua that we would go see, we would, set up a visit or something, and it just wasn't right. It didn't feel right. It would be like, maybe we thought we almost would do it, and then we were like, we're pushing for something that wasn't right. So we waited for the right time. And when the right time came, it was just right. It was just right. We had been manifesting her, like I said, for years. What my husband and I do, we don't always know that this is what we're doing consciously, but when I reverse engineer it, what we do is we talk things into reality. We get super excited about things. We're both very excitable people. So one time I was at the doctor with my husband because I go to his doctor's appointments with him. And the doctor told us to calm down because we were very excitable about things. Anyway, so we get excited about things. So we would talk about what it would be for me to be holding two Chihuahuas right now. Like, are we going to be able to handle it? We're not going to even be able to handle it. It's kind of like how we would talk about it. So that's how we manifested this little one into our reality. But like I said, it took a long time. We had to wait for the correct timing. We couldn't force it. And when it happened, it just happened. It was so interesting because I had emailed this woman who had another dog available. The dog was named Sir William, who had another dog. And she's like, oh, he's not available anymore. And then I was like, this was like a Friday night. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. And then just out of the blue, she's like, I have another one. And she's like, but I haven't posted about her or anything yet. And it was like I talked with her even yesterday. I've become kind of friendly with her. And she's like, I have a talent she definitely has a talent with animals, and she goes, I have a talent with animals, but I don't necessarily understand humans. And she goes, but I know how to match them. And she did. She just, it's like she instinctively knew, even over email. And she goes, but anyway, we kind of had a bond right away. And so it was all this like meant to be feeling that went into it. So I manifested this recently. I also manifested getting front row at Paul McCartney recently. And also something happened with these neighbors that we were having trouble with. We manifested something with them recently. But the two things that I had a lot of anxiety around were this dog and the Paul McCartney, getting front row at Paul McCartney. And so we're going to talk today about what that anxiety really meant. And I was afraid that it was intuition. I was afraid the anxiety was telling me that not to get the dog, or even like I didn't want to go to the concert. I was too anxious about it. So have you ever experienced so much anxiety that you're like, maybe it's telling me not to go or not to do this? Maybe it's trying to protect me. Maybe it's trying to lead me somewhere. And the answer is always no. Anxiety is not intuition. Fear is not to intuition. They're two different things. They're accessed on two different levels, right? But what happens, especially for me, seems to what happened is whenever my life is about to expand, like bringing this sweet little dog into my life is an expansion, right? It's an expansion of light into my life. And I find this with my clients too. I find this with everybody. Whenever my life is about to expand, I get anxious. the voice of fear creeps up and it's like, oh, maybe not, I'm going to keep you small so you don't have to experience any fear. So nothing will ever go wrong. What if it has all sorts of problems and gives you all sorts of problems and it's not the right thing and you and your husband argue about it, whatever, maybe this isn't the right time. All these things that were going in my head about the dog, which on a deeper level though, especially the day that I went and got the dog, I realized I knew I wanted this dog. So on a deeper level, I knew it was what I wanted. And when I always say, like, you don't need inner peace in order to, you don't need constant inner peace in order to manifest, right? That's not necessary. But when you find this place of stillness, the quantum field is where all possibilities exist. So you have to access some inner peace in order to know like what you really want, in order to actually, I think that's when the manifestation happens, right? And then we go out into the world and we experience fear again, and that's okay. But the fear is not guiding us. So how do we know, like, what are some signals that we know that this is fear, this is not intuition? Because even though we probably know this on a deep level, that fear and intuition are two different things, it's really hard to not listen to the fear because it's so strong and it feels so factual, right? But when you look at it, really there are signs. There are signs that this is fear, this is not intuition. And one of the signs is fear is very controlling. Fear will say, it will say things like, if you don't do this exactly right, everything will be wrong. Everything will be wrong. So it's controlling and it's very all or nothing. Like, you are going to mess up your life is what fear says, like if you make one wrong move. So the other thing that we manifested recently, like I just said, was being front row at Paul McCartney. This was a general seating situation. Okay. And so we were guaranteed early entry, but like 300 other people were too. So we were guaranteed early entry, but we were not guaranteed front row. Now, the way I manifested it was I felt it. I felt myself, like physically felt myself at the rail and how that would feel. Okay. So since I had been at the front row at the rail before, I knew how it would feel. So I was thinking about this. I knew how it would feel, but there was the first time that it happened. And the way I manifested it that time, since I didn't know how it would feel, was I imagined the feelings that I would feel, or I felt the feelings that I would feel. So in this case, I just could literally feel the rail. I could feel it. Like, it was like done. I knew it was done. But yet I woke up that morning freaked out. I woke up that morning kind of not wanting to go, wanting to just like stay in the hotel room for some reason, just wanting to feel peaceful. I wanted to stay within peace. So I did take some peace with me. That was my dedication to myself. I took some peace with me, but I was super anxious that day. The fear started kicking in, being like, you should do this, or if I could go through the whole process of how we got into the front row, I mean, I won't even bore you with the whole story, but there was a lot of things that happened that were like, this isn't going to happen. Like, you're in the wrong place. You are not placed correctly. You are not first in line. You did this wrong. There was a lot of like, my husband and my friend were like trying to figure it out a lot. Like, they were really good at that, figuring out where to go and where we should be and everything like that. But we also had to follow like our intuition. But it's not, the intuition doesn't say, go over here, go over here, go over here. That's fear. That's fear. The intuition comes from a deeper place. It might say, just go this way. But it's not like, if you don't go this way, you're going to die. It's not like that. It might guide you. And I almost think sometimes it's all subconscious, like it doesn't, or unconscious, subconscious, whatever. It doesn't guide you. You just do it. Like, you look back and you're like, oh, I went that way. And that worked, like we couldn't have planned. There's a lot of things that happened at that concert, or things that we couldn't have planned. We wouldn't have known. Oh my gosh, my client just told me the craziest story that she couldn't have planned. She manifested something. I didn't ask her for permission to talk about it, but it was a crazy story that she manifested. And it was like, when you reverse engineer it, she went a certain way, she did a certain thing, but she couldn't have planned it. She was just living her life. That's what I love about manifestation. Okay. But yeah, so the fear, what I realized, especially the morning that I went and got this dog, was that the desire from this dog, for this dog, is coming from a true, pure place. I am manifesting this with God. Like, I know this, right? Like, it's ultimately, I know it was what I wanted. And so I didn't listen to the fear. The fear was there because the fear is trying to keep us small, right? The fear, wants to protect you. It's like, okay, good to know. Good. Thank you for trying to protect me, but you're not going to be in the driver's seat, right? So good to know fear, but you don't get a say in what I do today. And if we want to talk about miracles, a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love, correct? So that day, we could call it the miracle happened that day when I realized that this fear wasn't the guidance that I wanted to listen to. Fear, guilt isn't the guidance that I want to be listening to. When I realized that, and I was able to see the situation, what was happening through the eyes of love instead of fear, and I got excited and I felt the expansion, that was the miracle, right? The inner shift, the miracle is the inner shift, and then the outer world sometimes will reflect it back to you. I think the outer world, of course, miracle says sometimes, but I think it always reflects it back to you. You just don't always necessarily see it. So, but yeah, it was reflected back to me with this dog that day. I mean, so then I had to manifest when I came home that her and Prudence got along, that her and Prudence are going to be best friends. And I kept holding that vision. I know I'm holding the vision that her digestion's a little better. We got a little too excited when we got her and we gave her too many treats. So now we have to back off on the treats because her tummy's a little bit upset. Sorry, Starr. Anyway, so I was manifesting that her and Prudence got along, that they were best friends, that they're sisters. And my gosh, it happened so much faster than even my niece was like messaging me. Like the first day, Starr was trying to snuggle with Prudence. And Prudence was like, what is this? And then what happened was one day we got a crate because I didn't know like if we could leave her alone. So my husband and I went to the grocery store and I put Starr in the crate. And Prudence, when I got back, we were only gone a little while. When I got back, Prudence looked at me like, well, she's getting on my nerves, but you don't have to put her in a cage. What are you doing? And then ever since that, it's like Prudence has been protective about her. So anyway, we manifesting now that they are best friends and it's working. So, but there were some instances, there were some growling. Okay. There was some, and I didn't let that be the final say. I didn't let that I didn't let that guide me. Right. I responded to it in a correct way. What I did was I gave Prudence all this attention to make sure that she knew that we were still, nothing was changing in that between us, but whatever. Dog tangents. Okay. So yes. So fear, anxiety is literally just not intuition. It just isn't. Okay. So they are two different things. You can feel, it's okay to feel fear, right? We do feel fear. It doesn't mean that you're manifesting wrong or you're doing things wrong, right? It's okay to feel the fear because you will, especially, it doesn't mean, like I talk about inner peace, right? That is my thing, helping sensitive people manifest inner peace. This is what we do. But it doesn't mean that you don't want to go out into the world and do scary things. You want to the peace helps you to do that, right? So we're still going to feel fearful, and we might feel fearful about our manifestations, and that's okay. But the fear isn't telling you to not do it. Okay. The fear is coming from a different voice. So, and also knowing that the fear can be very controlling. The voice of fear is controlling and it's very all or nothing. Okay. And it's lying to you. That's a lie. It's not, nothing's all or nothing. You can't mess things up. It's not that you have to do this or everything's going to be bad. That voice is absolutely lying to you. Okay, let's end with a Course in Miracles lesson. Like I promised, we're still doing Course in Miracles lessons that are helpful for anxiety. And this goes right along with what I'm talking about today, because we don't want the anxiety, the voice of fear, the voice of anxiety to be our guidance system. We also don't want the voice of guilt to be our guidance system. And maybe if you guys want me to talk more about guilt, I can do that. I had a realization recently where I was feeling guilty about somebody in my life, like feeling like I wasn't doing enough, or this is just the people pleaser in me coming out, the recovering people pleaser. And I was feeling like bad for this person. And I had this realization that the guilt that I'm feeling, well, we're going to talk about it next time. The guilt that I'm feeling is more about me abandoning myself than anything else. More about guilt next time. Okay, so now I will seek and find the peace of God, lesson 230. These are Course in Miracles lessons that are helpful for anxiety. And we'll read a little bit of the lesson and do a little tapping on it. So now I will seek and find the peace of God. Lesson 230. In peace I was created, and in peace do I remain. It is not given me to change myself, capital S. How merciful is God, my Father, that when he created me, he gave me peace forever. Now I ask but to be what I am. Now I ask but to be what I am. And can this be denied me when it is forever true? In peace I was created, and in peace do I remain. The peace is already here. The peace is already here. Creation is finished. You are peace. In peace I was created, and in peace do I remain. You just have to manifest that. You just have to align with it. You just have to bring it into your body because it's already here. In peace I was created. You are peace. You are the voice for peace. You are an effect of God. I just read that lesson too about I'm forever an effect of God. You are an effect of God. In peace I was created, and in peace do I remain. It is not given me to change myself. You don't have to change yourself. You just have to forget the things that you were told that you are. How merciful is God, my Father, that when he created me, he gave me peace forever. I have peace forever. Now I ask but to be what I am. I just simply ask to be what I am. No biggie. And can this be denied me when it is forever true? When it is forever true. So now I will seek and find the peace of God. I don't just seek. I'm not just a spiritual seeker. I'm a spiritual finder. I will seek and find the peace of God. Okay, so let's go ahead and tap on this. Now I will seek and find the peace of God. We'll do a karate chop. Now I will seek and find the peace of God. Now I will seek and find the peace of God. Do the top of the head. Now I will seek and find the peace of God. Now I will seek and find the peace of God. Inner eye. Now I will seek and find the peace of God. The peace of God is within me now. The peace of God is within me now. Outer eye. I allow the peace of God. I allow the peace of God. Under the eye. I need do nothing. It is who I am. Let me remember who I am. Under the nose, let me remember who I am. I seek and find the peace of God. Today I am the peace of God. Today I am the peace of God. Collarbone, I realize the peace of God today. I realize the peace of God within me today. Under the brow line, I seek and find the peace of God. Okay, one more time, just the top of the head, gentle touch. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Inner eye. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Outer eye. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Under the eye. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Under the nose. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Chin. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Collarbone. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Under the arm. Now I seek and find the peace of God. Now I seek and find the peace of God. This little angel. Okay, so I thought I would end holding 2 Chihuahuas who are sisters, just like my husband and I manifested, just like we imagined. Okay, so now I hope this video helped you to seek and find the peace of God. I hope you go out into this world with the peace of God, knowing that you are the peace of God today and not letting anxiety or fear run the show, because it's trying to keep you from who you are supposed to be, the light that you are supposed to have in this world. Okay, go ahead and subscribe below if you want more videos about this, or like this, about finding inner peace as a sensitive person, manifesting inner peace and bringing that into this world, bringing the vertical dimension into this world. Peace and love, and I'll talk to you soon.